take a look at the Western Conference playoff picture as it stands today. A lot of games coming your way tonight, so maybe there will be some movement as we sit here tomorrow. But, Cory, when you look at this Western Conference playoff picture, it's pretty impressive because there are so many teams that are so good out west. So I want you to give me 5 through 1, your top 5 teams.
Yeah, we were doing this exercise. We talked about it. I think there's 6 teams that kind of went all in at the West, and 2 of them at least will be out of the playoffs after the first round, which kind of blew my mind, but based on how good they are and how much they gave up to improve their teams. Here are my top 5. I have number 5, I have Vancouver, which is probably a little shocking considering they're probably the best team in the West right now. It's nothing against them personally. It's just there's 6 really good teams. So you got to put them somewhere. And I think they're the new ones to the playoffs this year. They haven't been in a while, so I'm just curious if they'll be, not that they won't be ready to go, but it's going to be a new animal for them and some of their players, whereas some of these other teams have gone on deep runs, won Stanley Cups. So I'm basically docking them for lack of experience. So maybe that's not fair, but they're my rankings, so I'm going to do it. Number 4, survey says, the Colorado Avalanche. Even this one I had a tough time. They're 2 years removed from a Stanley Cup. They probably have 2 of the best players in the world on their team. They made some great additions, I thought. They plugged that second-line center hole at Middlestat. They added Sean Walker. Very sneaky ad. I think they're going to be really tough to beat. But, again, who do you put them ahead of and behind? I don't know, so I put them here. Number 3, the Edmonton Oilers.
Wash it out.
You know, after their slow start, they've been the best team in hockey. And they have McDavid, Draisaitl, we've all talked about it. I love the way they're playing. I think they're more suited for the playoffs this year than in years past. I don't know if playing at such a torrid pace from game 20 to game 80 will take an effect, that they've been playing playoff hockey already for the rest of the year, and that come playoff time they might run out a little bit of gas. But it's more so I just like the 2 teams ahead of them better right now for playoff hockey. So number 2, the Winnipeg Jets. They don't give anything up. They don't give up a whole lot. They think they have the best goalie in the world probably. They added Monahan, and Toffoli just seemed like a luxury ad when they could get him there at the deadline. So I think their forward depth, top to bottom, most balanced, interesting to me. I think they can do some damage. And then, as I said earlier, my Cup preview, the Dallas Stars. I think, you know, if Ottinger can get to his playoff level that he's shown the last few years, I think that's maybe the one missing piece. He's got the pedigree, he just hasn't played like that all year. So, like, if he can elevate his game to that level, they'll be near impossible to beat, in my opinion.
That's disappointing. I thought you had Van 1.
Why?
I looked at your paper. I cheated. I thought you had Vancouver. I thought you had Vancouver first.
This isn't college. We don't do this anymore. This isn't college anymore, Brian.
Well, it was just going to give me some. It was just going to give me some
juice,
some ammo to kind of get after you. Look, man, we're on the same page here. Let's.
For real.
What do you have?
Yeah, I got Colorado at 5. I know that sounds low, but for the same reasons, I'm not sure if. I mean, Georgiev plays every game, and that's the only issue with me. I do like their additions, plus Trennan. And Duhaime, that's a physical,
those guys.
You know, that's an arms race out west, so they need to be beefing up a little bit with a little more stake in their lineup. Number 4, I went with, who did I go with? Edmonton, yeah. Again, same reason. I guess I don't trust, if they play in a heavy game, I don't trust exactly what they're doing. They've gotten there on the heels of McDavid and Draisaitl, obviously. I think Zach Hyman is unbelievable, and he's going to get playoff goals. You know, they've shown that they can defend. They've done an unbelievable job of that lately. I just can't trust them yet. I just cannot. I can't get them up. And this is like the 4th team out of 6, I think, that could easily win the Cup, and it wouldn't surprise me. So it's not. I'm not going after them. I just think 4 is a good spot for them. 3, I got Vegas.
They're off my list. I even have them on my list, which is wild.
Yeah,
I have a hard time.
We got to chat after this reveal.
And look, they're not that comfortably in a spot right now, and they're on a bit of a tailspin. But I think with their additions that they've made, what they did last year, what they can do when everybody's back, which I think they will be. Hopefully Mark Stone can play early on in the playoffs. I know that's a pretty serious injury. They'd be higher on my list if everyone was healthy now, obviously,
sure.
But and then they weren't on a tailspin, but they're still not. They're not leaving the top 5 in the West. Number 2, I got Winnipeg. They don't give up goals. They've added to their forward group. Their top 6 even. They've added these guys that can score. Monahan and Toffoli. They have, I just think, a great structure. They have great goaltending, and Rick Bowness is one of my favorite people in hockey. So we're going to put them at 2. And number 1, boring. I got Dallas as well for all the same things Cory said.
Yeah.
So
Stars.
This ended up being a lot.
Well, you both so you both agree on 1 and 2, but I'm really curious. So I want to get back to Vegas and why you left Vegas off your list. And
the goalie.
Yeah.
We were people too, Brian. I think just the way they're playing right now is not inspiring me. I know they can do it, and they've shown they can do it. I'm also, if Stone comes back, he may not come back. Hurdle's out. He may not play for a few weeks. So you're sort of counting on two guys here that we don't know what we're going to get from them down the stretch, and I think they're big components of their team right now. I love the Hannafin acquisition. And again, like you said, they could easily go in there and flip a switch and win the Stanley Cup, no problem. So that's why I had a hard time. But I also think going on a long run like that, winning the Cup, it takes something out of you. And so I think this is the time of year where you see it maybe catch up to them in terms of the energy levels, the emotion. Plus, I think the West is just a whole lot better this year than it was last year. No discredit to them. They did the job last year. They beat who they had to beat. That's full marks. But I just think they're playing wrong at the wrong time, which to me I find going in the playoffs is usually a better indicator of success than how you've done throughout the entire season. So I had a hard time. I mean, I would love to put all six in there, but
if they're healthy, do you have them slotted?
I probably do. I probably do have them higher. But right now, I'm just not sure what their situation is health-wise. And there's two, like I said, huge players for that team that may or may not play and play well if they do play.
I mean, I left Vancouver off, and they've been at the top all year.
Exactly. That would be my question for you. It's hard to itemize them because, to your point, I mean, 6 of these teams are outstanding and, at any point could win the Stanley Cup.
Well, L.A. had a 2-month slump. The Los Angeles Kings had a 2-month slump, and now they're playing better, and I think they have another level that they can get to.
They could win it.
They could easily win it.